Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast with Brown on Cleveland. Brown, 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 brown. That damn brown on Cleveland. Welcome to the Little Hut Podcast. Yeah. Well, good evening to you and yours. And of course, you got Brown on Cleveland, Friday evening inside the Little Hut Podcast. And of course, I want to thank you for coming inside the Little Hut because tonight is going to be a tad bit hot. But of course, before we get started tonight, I got to say hello. You guys know the routine. To my sponsors. Why? Because they take care of me. So it's only necessary that I take care of them. Now, don't forget that if you're looking for a single home, duplex, commercial property, or new development, you can always call Aletha Johnson of Dream Team Realty. Her number is 216-375-3681. If you're looking for t-shirts, hoodies, jackets, tumblers, mugs, team uniforms, and especially if you're looking for something for election day because it's going to be cold out there and you got to take care of your poll workers, call Angie Marie of New Beginnings 1111 Creations and let Angie take care of you. Fast turnaround. She's not going to, mess around with your material. She's going to get you in and out. Give her a call at 216-395-7335. And if you're over in the Garfield community and you are hungry and you want some soul food, please go to Flavor Southern Cuisine Restaurant, which is located 12540 Rockside Road in Garfield Heights. Go by there. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. And don't forget that if you are a daycare owner and if you're looking for somebody to cater your breakfast, lunch, or even snacks, give Rhonda Stubbs a call right now at 216-510-0919. And of course, for the last 6 months, you guys know that the re-election team for Matt Burt for mayor for the city of Garfield Heights has been a sponsor, is a sponsor, and we appreciate his sponsorship. So on Tuesday, November 4th, make sure you shake your pom-poms, shake your pom-poms, shake your pom-poms. Damn it! Shake your pom-poms for Mayor Matt Burt and his re-election campaign for mayor for the city of Garfield Heights. Brown, 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 that damn brown on Cleveland. Woo, I kid you not. Listen, you guys know that last week I was on vacation. I did not air on Wednesday because I had to get those papers out. And I think I have about maybe 250, 300 papers left. And those papers will be out in the community. And I need to take time out to thank all of my pastors for making sure that the Brown Report newspaper was sitting right next to the Calling Post. I got a lot of calls regarding the publication. And for the most part, 99.9% people enjoy it. They say they want to see more community newspapers in the community. So therefore, they know what is happening within their neck of the woods. So again, thank you for supporting the Brown Report newspaper. And don't forget that you can always check out our scroll on the bottom of the screen. And of course, these are our supporters. We may support them, maybe not, but we probably do, right? Make sure you do your homework on these candidates who are running for office. And let me tell y'all this, make sure that you go to the Cuyahoga County website. Go to the civil division, damn right. Go to the criminal division, plug in their names, plug it in. You know why? Because voters, they have a right to know. And it's public information, so you don't have to worry about somebody trying to go down to the court and sue you talking about defamation of character, when in fact it is not. Voters have a right to know. So when these people are knocking on your door, knock, 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 there's some things that they ought to be telling you that they don't want to tell you. Why? Because most of them are shysters, and we better be careful about who we give our voice to. Okay? Here we go. Brown on Cleveland inside the Little Hut podcast. Two things I want to talk about tonight. One is about people who love to mind other folks' business. So let's start there. You know, this week, I would say probably about 24, 48 hours again. You know, I have to keep reminding people why they should mind their damn business. You know, let's talk about social media for a second. Social media, especially Facebook, gives you the opportunity to only share information with your friends, friends of a friends, or keep your page public like mine. If your page is public, that simply means that anybody and everybody can pretty much look at your page. But if it's private, when people are posting things and it's private, they want to keep it private simply because they just want to share it with certain people. And I really don't care what side of the fence you're on. I just truly believe that when somebody has a private page, keep it private. All these goofy ass people out here, they love to, take screenshots of people's posts, and then they send them to their frenemies and their enemies, and they cause all types of chaos, conflict, and confusion. Now, I know somebody is probably saying, but you know what, Kimberly, social media is public. Well, not so fast, Skippy, not so fast. Listen, y'all out here minding people's business. You got to be very careful about the things you share with people. So let me just tell you this little story real quick, which is true. About a year ago, one of my associates, real close associates, her son was at home minding his business. He wasn't bothering anybody. This was his off day. He was at home just chilling, resting. Well, he was dating a young lady, and the young lady, from my understanding, she had got into an argument with one of her male coworkers. So what she did was she called my friend's son and told the son that this guy was bothering her. Now keep in mind, he's minding his business. He's at home handling his business, not bothering anybody. Well, because he was so fond of this young lady, he decided to go to her job and, check the guy who was allegedly bothering his girlfriend slash fiance. Well, it was very unfortunate that when he left the house, he also carried his gun. And when he got to his girlfriend's slash fiance's job, him and the guy got into a situation. And the situation was so bad that the police was called and the gun went off accidentally. So fast forward. Keep in mind, he was minding his damn business. He was minding his business. So when he went to court, I wrote a letter for him. Some other people wrote a letter for him. We just thought maybe, he would get probation, whatever the case may be. Well, that's not what happened, you guys. What happened is that he got a year in prison. So the point I'm making is this. Some of you guys are so nosy. You're such a busybody, minding somebody's business. And these people are not bothering you. But when you minding somebody's business and you're calling folk and you're texting folk and you're sharing stuff with folk, you don't know what type of mind frame they may be in, right? This guy is serving a year because he could not sit at home and just mind his business. See, because in my opinion, she could have waited. She could have told him that when she got home. She could have done that. But oh no, you got to mind somebody's business. Now, he's serving time. She's probably out somewhere being willy-nilly. I have no idea. That's just my opinion. I don't know, don't really care. But he was minding his business. So, me, I'm always going to Google mind your business. I'm going to Google any topic that I decide to discuss. So it says this: a person who doesn't mind their own business is often called a busybody. We got a whole lot of those folks. But other words includes nosy, intrusive, and interfering. These terms describe someone who meddles in other affairs instead of focusing on their own life. Here's your busybody: a person who tends to meddle in other people's affairs. You're going to get punched in the nose. Nosy: someone who is overly interested in other people's private lives. Intrusive: describes someone who interferes or intrudes in the affairs of others. And interfering: to get involved in something that is not one's concern. So while you guys should be worried about your own self, stay off of other people's pages on social media, shooting stuff, taking pictures of stuff, sending them to somebody's enemies and frenemies because you're purposely stirring up mess. Stop it. You don't know if you're messing up somebody's marriage, their relationship. You don't even know the mind frame they may be in. But here you go, starting all that mess. And then when the shit hit the fan, you'll be the first one in the corner gossiping, lying, talking about, I don't know why that happened. Ooh, you know why it happened, because you was a busy body. Mind your business. And I tell people, you mind my business, I'm damn sure go mind yours. You tell a lie on me, I'm going to tell the truth about you. Talk about me in private, like I know some of you guys are probably doing right now. I'm damn sure going to talk about you in public if you get back to me. Brown on Cleveland. Come on, y'all. Stop it. We almost 100 years old. I am now a senior citizen. I just don't look like it. But I am. And I'm not ashamed of it. But really, y'all, be careful about the stuff you share. That's why, my mind all jacked up right now because somebody shared some stuff with me. And honest, I just wish they didn't share with me because I really didn't need to know about, what happened at a certain meeting because I wasn't there. But you sending me crazy stuff and now I'm just, whatever. Is what it is, is what it is, is what it is. So all I'm going to say is this: be careful about the stuff you share. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Brown on Cleveland. All right. Hot topic for tonight. Let's go to District 1 in the city. Y'all know my favorite city, Maple Heights, right? Oh, and by the way, I put a bid on a house in that city. So I got some stuff going on. Yeah, might as well. Who really cares, right? Nobody really cares about that. It'll be a rental, but it's just what it is. All right. This is a serious conversation we need to have. Let's talk about the District 1 race in the city of Maple Heights. By the way, let me say this sidebar. Every single candidate who's running across this here United States of America, I wish you well. I applaud you because a lot of the people who will criticize you, they're not bold enough to put their name out there. So, in all out honesty and respect, I respect you and I wish you well. Real talk. All right. So, don't forget the chat is open. The chat is open because this may bring some questions from the chat. Let's go to District 1, City of Maple Heights. We got Stafford Shenett, who's the incumbent, and he's being challenged by the mayor's baby boy, Devin Nelson. Now, this is crazy, right? Now, before I talk about this, let me say this about Mr. Nelson. I like that guy. I do. He's always been very respectful. I can't say anything negative about him. However, here's my however with a comma. He's not the right choice for Maple Heights District 1 under any circumstances. So if you had the opportunity to read the Brown Report newspaper, it's on the front page, and I will tell you why tonight. And the chat is open. I'll take your questions, but I don't deal with haters. So if you got that mess going on, I will not respond to your chat at all, because this is a very serious conversation that I'm getting ready to have with people in the city of Maple Heights right now. And if you live in Maple, listen real close. And I want you to inform other residents in Maple. And if you possibly can, please share the podcast because it is very crucial. Those last papers that I have here in my possession, they will be going to District 1, Maple Heights, because it's pertinent, it's imperative that people understand what's going on. Why? Because education matters, and it's important that people do not make a mistake in this race. Now, you know me, I got to research, I got to Google, and this is what I found out. Now, I was asking AI and asking some of my reporter colleagues if they had ever heard of a mother-son dual sitting on city council, or where the mother's mayor, the son is a council person. And the results came back absolutely not. They said, now, if you look at it from a state perspective, as far as being, state legislators, then yes, you have had that, but not on a muni level. Absolutely not. And it's not that it's illegal. However, it's a slippery slope to being unethical. I'm going to say it again. It's a slippery slope of being unethical because there is conflict of interest and people need to understand it. Just like when you're running a finance director of another city and you want this person to be a council person, it is conflict of interest. I have explained that to you guys, and these are some of the things you need to take to your law director. And you guys need to create some new legislation and quit being crazy out there worrying about the wrong thing. Understand how the city is supposed to move. The city shouldn't move based upon a family. It should move based upon the people. Last time I checked my history book, it was called, and it is called, the city of Maple Heights, Ohio. You do not want your city next year to be called the Blackwell soap opera. You don't. You don't want the mayor to be her, the husband to run the school board, to be president, and then the son to sit on council. Your voice will be gone. You will no longer have choices. It will become this. Whatever that family wants, they will get. Understand their strategy. Their strategy is for them. It's not for the people. Understand this, people. So let me break it down to you like this. Family members serving together on the same body is not unheard of and is addressed on a case-by-case basis through recusals or other measures. Now, when family members serve together on the same governing body, it can create conflict of interest and compromise independent decision making. This can cause issues in various situations, especially when we're talking about government. The following that I'm going to discuss tonight is some of the things that you guys will have to look at. But before we go that, let me go here. If you paid attention to Maple Heights politics, and really, you really shouldn't unless you live in that city, or if you're like me and you have invested like 15 and a half years in that city, then you would. There has always been a rift between Councilperson Stafford Shenett and Annette Blackwell. There's always been a rift. The first time they ran for council, Blackwell beat him. Although she didn't win the seat, Alex Adams maintained the seat because he was the incumbent. When Stafford Shenett had a challenger several years ago named Valerie, I'm just going to say W, because you don't need to know her last name, because that's minding somebody's business. There was a backroom deal made, from my understanding. The backroom deal was, and these are just, some things I was told, maybe right, maybe not, but illustration purposes only. The conversation was of such, from my understanding. If you help me beat Valerie, then I may let you become the ward leader. Well, that deal was on the table, or maybe it wasn't on the table. I have no idea. This is all hearsay. Now, I'm minding somebody's business, right? Didn't I just talk about that? Well, I don't care because I'm a reporter and I can do it. Well, when Stafford Shenett won, she did not become the ward leader. So she was not too happy about it, but who cares? Come see, come 𝗧𝗜𝗍𝗓. You got the seat, right? Fast forward, now you have Stafford who wants to be mayor for the city, of Maple Heights, right? Okay, so they fight it out. They run. She beats Stafford Shenett. But let me say this. She was damn so nervous because Stafford made her nervous. And she can't deny it because the day of the election, she was on the west side of Maple Heights under that damn tree, getting ready to cry, talking about, he gonna beat me, he gonna beat me. They said inside he gonna beat me because he got the endorsement. I said, no, he ain't gonna beat you. And he didn't win. He didn't win, right? But that's in the past. Now we're moving forward. So now we got this race where you have 1, 3, 5, and 7 that gotta run, right? So the animosity is still there. So as I sit home, I'm questioning, is this race really about the son, Devin Nelson? Or is this an old rivalry between Stafford Shenett and Annette Blackwell? And if it's an old rivalry, it's an immature rivalry because voters, citizens, business owners, and stakeholders should be asking, when are they going to be concerned about the business of the city? Because technically, listen, don't nobody have time to go tick for tack. But now that we're at the tack, because the tick is ticking, let's talk about it. Personally, I don't believe that this is really about Devin Nelson, because what I do know is this. There were other people who wanted to run in District 1. One, you had a guy named Johnny Barnes who did not make the ballot. Then you had her cousin, Monica. She was interested, but I think her husband told her, no, we don't want people in our business, which in fact, I guess I can't blame him. So she had to find somebody. So she went and got her baby boy, Devin Nelson. But here's the situation. I just don't think that Devin is up to par when it comes to being a legislator for the city. I looked at his campaign card, and all he talks about is football, 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 football. This ain't football, partner, at all. Now, if Shenett and Devin was applying to be a football coach, a water boy, a football coordinator, then I would tell Shenett, sit your ass down, because you ain't qualified. Get that to him, because he is. But this is a whole different ball game, y'all. There's no way in the world that District 1 residents should choose a person who's more concerned about football than someone who's absolutely concerned about the city and who has legislative experience and who is a leader over there, who has made a difference in that area. There's no way. And if you are going to vote for somebody because their mama is the mayor, as a voter, you need your voting card taken away from you. Because that's not why our ancestors fought so hard. Because here's what I know. If my stepdad, here I go with my satire, don't try to drag me tomorrow, because I know you will, because some of y'all dum-dums have already tried to do that. If my stepdad, Donald Trump, if he put all of the Trump children, and if he made them all directors, y'all would have a fit. Oh, y'all would go crazy. It would be all over national news. Trump can't do it. Why is he doing it? Y'all would be crying. The Dems would be having an absolutely heart attack, a stroke right about now. But because it's a Dem trying to do that okey doke, y'all don't say nothing. Y'all say absolutely nothing. And you guys are absolutely wrong. So let me tell you this. You got to consider, if her son was to become a council person in the city of Maple Heights, he probably 10 times out of 10 would not make his own decisions. It would probably boil down to this: mommy dearest, what should I do? And if that's the case, that simply means that the 3,500 people over in District 1 would no longer have a voice. We've come too long, too far, to allow somebody to strip us of our voice and our choice. But here's what I found to be pretty interesting. You guys know I like to Google. It says that when family members, when they serve on the same board, in this case, the same government, a council member may struggle to remain objective when a decision would financially or personally benefit a family member. So let's say this. Let's say if council was voting to increase or decrease the mayor's salary, how would Mr. Nelson vote? He's going to vote with his mama. I have suggested that when it's time to review their charter and they put together their charter commission, that safety director job needs to be taken from the mayor. And it needs to be an independent job, because they need to find someone who's qualified and who has the certifications. If Mr. Nelson was a council person, who do you think he would side with? Would he side for right to get somebody who's qualified, or would he side with mommy? Because he wants mommy to continue to get money that she probably has not earned. It's a problem, you guys. The other thing is this: having a son on council while you're the mayor, it compromises independence. Family members may form a voting bloc or influence each other's decisions rather than voting independently based on the city's best interests. In other words, it's like this: mother, may I or may I not? And whatever she is proposing, 10 times out of 10, he's going that route. I'm telling you guys, this is your warning. You do not want to make that mistake. And I'll say it again: he's a nice guy. If he was running in another city, he probably still wouldn't win because he doesn't have the experience that they're looking for. His entire placard talks about football, 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 football. And I do understand the correlation, but depending on who he's running against, if their placard talks about leadership experience, if it talks about community advocacy, if it talks about legislation, if it talks about public policy, I got to go with that person. Because this is not a football game. This is the only game in the world, and I will never understand this. How is it that we will elect people, and this is across the board, not just Maple, and put them in seats and say experience doesn't matter? But yet and still, these people are making decisions about your livelihood. Oh, it matters. Because let me ask you this: would you go to a plumber if you needed heart surgery? You would not. Why? Because your life matters. This is a no-brainer. The person who's qualified for that seat is Councilperson Stafford Shenett. The other thing is this: there would be uneasy dynamics. A family dynamic can make it difficult for other council members to challenge a related issue that maybe his mommy would propose. The presence of the son can also discourage other members from serving in leadership roles. Here's the thing: some council members, this is just not in Maple, they are afraid of the mayor. They are afraid of the council president. So now you got the son that's part of this group. Listen, some of these council people, they're not bold enough to speak up. So now they're going to be intimidated because their thing is, if I say something, first thing he's going to do is go home and tell his mommy, right? And it's going to cause more chaos, conflict, and confusion. You don't want that. The other thing is appearance of impropriety. Even if a decision is made fairly, the presence of family members can create the perception of a conflict of interest among the public or other stakeholders. This can damage a city's reputation and lead to a loss of public trust. Be careful what you ask for. Everything that sounds good is not good. This is called the city of Maple Heights, not the Blackwell soap opera dynasty. That's a powerless move. And I know good and well the residents in District 1, Maple Heights, they're not going to fall for that shiggity boo. Then there's a conflict of interest policy. Governing bodies should adopt a policy that defines a conflict of interest. It requires members to disclose potential conflicts and outlines the process of handling them. My question is this: why would any voter consider electing somebody's son when the mommy and or the daddy is the mayor, when in fact that that the son, or it could be a daughter, would constantly have to recuse themselves? Again, the residents would not be represented. Who are we serving? Here's the problem I have with elected officials and these darn political parties. At my old age, being a senior citizen, I do understand why people don't vote. I don't like it. I really don't like it. But I understand it because it's situations like this where you have people using their position to manipulate the masses, and they refuse to tell the truth. This lady knows damn well who's the most qualified person for this seat. And unfortunately, it is not her son. But because she doesn't want to have to work with council, she's trying to stack the deck. And she wants to get a bunch of dummies, flunkies, fans, and followers. This is what she wants to do. Council does not work for the mayor. Come on, people. Council serves as a check and balance. They work in partnership with. They don't work for. Council holds a responsibility to make sure that the residents' quality of life is being adhered to. It's not a power move. Council is obligated, if they're doing their jobs, to speak up when something is not right. It's called good trouble. And a lot of you guys like to talk about John Lewis and Martin Luther King, but you don't like the avenue of good trouble. Council job is not to be comfortable. They have to stay uncomfortable in order to make the necessary changes for you that will benefit the entire community. This is not a power grab move. And no one on any council should be enslaved to a mayor. Brown on Cleveland, damn it, I said it. The other thing is this: the recusal. The primary tool for managing a conflict is recusal, which means the conflicted council member must refrain from voting or participating in the discussion of a matter. This allows the rest of council to make an unbiased decision. Listen, my job is to bring the information and to educate people before you make a dire mistake. A lot of you guys are climbing on a cliff. I don't know if you're willing to jump or not jump. I hope that you don't jump. Let me say this to you again. This race really isn't about the son. He just happened to be the one who agreed to run for councilperson of District 1. Because had she been able to find someone else, the son would not be a factor in this equation. This thing is about votes on the floor. This thing is about control. This thing is about mismanagement and misabuse of power. This thing is about a narcissistic behavior. And I explained this last week. Me, 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 me. My way or no way. My way or the highway. And if I can't get my way, I am going to play victim every single day. You guys got to know what's going on within your city. Brown on Cleveland. Listen, I'm going to keep saying it and saying it and saying it and saying it. It's not about the people. A lot of these cities that I observe the city, I observe the council people, and I observe the mayor. And when I see people trying to make a power move and they don't care anything about the people, then I believe this. When they don't know, they gotta go. And at some point in time, this city is going to have to be like Cleveland Heights. Because one thing I can say about Cleveland Heights residents, when you don't know, you got to go. If you think you're going to come up in Cleveland Heights and do what you damn well please, them residents are going to push back. I remember when Richmond Heights, they pushed back on their first African American woman mayor. They didn't care anything about the history. They didn't care anything about the first. It was about, you're not going to bring nonsense to this city. Because when we have enough, enough is enough, and you're going to have to go because apparently you don't know. You can't sit in these seats thinking that the city belongs to you, because it does not. This race is not about Nelson. This race is about a power struggle between the mayor and the council person. The mayor can't get her way, and she's having a temper tantrum every single day. And if she tells you that what I'm saying is not true, we already know she don't tell the truth no way, because that's evident. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, to help me God? She would say no. No, she wouldn't even say no. You know why? Because she don't tell the truth. And we know that to be true. The bottom line is this. Election 2025 is here. And I am going to keep advising people about these judicial candidates, these council candidates, and about some of these mayors, because you're not fit to serve. And if you're already in the seat, you are fit to get out, because that's where you belong, somewhere else. You're not fit to serve because you're not concerned about the city. You're only concerned about making a power move or trying to create a power household for your family. This ain't it. The city of Maple Heights belongs to the people. It's been called Maple Heights. And I'll be damned if I am going to let you turn Maple Heights into the Blackwell Heights. Now, when I done wasted 15 and a half years. Brown on Cleveland, District 1 residents, understand you must retain Councilperson Stafford Shenett. It's simply the right thing to do. You want a voice, you want a choice, do what you need to do. If you live in Maple, I want you to tell everybody, share this podcast, let them know the way they should go. Don't forget, I'm dropping the rest of those papers in the city of Maple Heights in District 1. Not tonight, but tomorrow. Y'all can't stand my guts, right? No matter to me. Brown. That damn Brown on Cleveland. I got to go. I got stuff to do tomorrow. Sure enough, I got to walk the streets like, no, not like that, but I got to walk the streets. Always remember that. Hey, listen, talk about me in private. I'm going to talk about you in public, right? Lie on me. I am going to tell the truth about you. Mind my business. And damn it, I'm going to mind yours too. My name is Kimberly Brown. Brown, Brown, Brown. That down, Brown on Cleveland. All right, I got to go, right? Now, you guys know you ain't got to be a star. You ain't got to be a star. You ain't got to be a star to be on my show. You ain't got to be a star to be on this show, baby. But you got to be bold. Show enough do. So do me a favor. Because I know. On the phone. Yeah. Enemies and frenemies talking stupid because that's what stupid people do. They talk stupid all day long. But listen, Maple Heights. Y'all better not make the wrong decision. I'm telling you, you won't have a voice or a choice. It's called the City of Maple Heights, Ohio. Yeah. Brown on Cleveland. Brown, brown, brown. That damn brown on Cleveland. They can't stand my guts. And I really don't care.